Can you turn a dying, debt-ridden company into a legendary financial empire? Most would say it's impossible. But one man's journey proves that there is no wrong starting point, only the wrong way to use it. This is the story of Berkshire Hathaway and how Warren Buffett transformed a mistake into the greatest investment vehicle in history. Our story begins not with triumph, but with decline. Founded in 1839, Berkshire Hathaway was once a proud New England textile company. But by the mid-20th century, the world had changed. The American textile industry was being decimated by foreign competition. Berkshire was caught in a long, slow downward spiral. For over a century, it had been weaving cloth. Now it was weaving its own demise. By the 1960s, when a young investor named Warren Buffett first laid eyes on it, Berkshire was a shadow of its former self. It was a company saddled with aging factories, crushing debt, and shrinking revenues. It had no clear future, no path to recovery. To most of the world, Berkshire Hathaway was already dead. But Buffett saw something else entirely. He didn't see a textile mill. He saw a cheap, publicly traded vehicle he could use to build an empire. Buffett began buying shares, believing the company was simply too cheap to ignore. He saw a statistical bargain, a cigar butt investment with one last puff of profit left in it. But what he didn't expect was that this decision would become what he later called the biggest mistake of his life. Why? Because the textile business was a black hole. It couldn't compete with the low labor costs of foreign countries. Its profit margins were razor thin, and it demanded constant capital just to stay afloat. It was a terrible business, and it was draining money that could have been used far more productively elsewhere. Buffett himself confessed, "If I were smarter, I wouldn't have bought Berkshire." He was trapped. But sometimes, our greatest mistakes become the unlikely foundation for our greatest successes. Forced to deal with his error, Buffett made a pivotal choice. He stopped trying to save the unsalvageable textile operations. Instead, he began to starve the bad business and use the small cash flow it generated to do something completely different. He started transforming Berkshire Hathaway from a failing manufacturer into a holding company, a vessel for his true passion, investing. The mistake became the bedrock of a new beginning. This marked the dawn of a new era. From 1965 to 1990, Buffett began using Berkshire as his personal investment machine. He wasn't just buying stocks anymore. He was buying entire companies, started accumulating a portfolio of wonderful businesses run by excellent managers, and letting their profits compound within Berkshire's corporate structure. The empire began to take shape, piece by magnificent piece. There was Geico, the insurance gem Buffett had been fascinated with since his youth. There was the Nebraska Furniture Mart, an incredible business built by the legendary Rose Blumkin on a handshake. Then came See's Candies, a deal that taught him the immense value of a strong brand and provided a torrent of cash flow for decades. He added the Washington Post, an investment that would multiply in value many times over. Following the principles of his mentor, Benjamin Graham, Buffett was turning Berkshire into a money-printing machine. The philosophy was simple but powerful. Buy good businesses, hold them for the long term, and let their inherent greatness work its magic. But just as the engine was warming up, a new force entered Buffett's life that would change its trajectory forever. That force was Charlie Munger. More than just a partner, Munger was Buffett's intellectual confidant, a co-architect of the Berkshire ideology. It was Munger who pushed Buffett to evolve beyond Graham's cigar butt approach. He challenged Buffett to shift from buying cheap, fair companies to buying great companies at reasonable prices. He introduced a multidisciplinary approach to thinking, using mental models from across different fields to make better decisions. And he reinforced an ironclad discipline, a patience to wait for the perfect pitch. Buffett himself would later say Berkshire today is the joint work of Charlie and I. Munger, had provided the final, crucial ingredient to their philosophy. With this refined worldview, Berkshire entered an astonishing phase of acceleration. From the 1990s through the 2010s, Buffett and Munger built a multi-industry empire that was staggering in its scope. They expanded into dozens of different fields, turning Berkshire into a microcosm of the entire American economy. In insurance, they acquired giants like General Re, using the float premiums collected up front to generate hundreds of billions of dollars for investment. In consumer goods, they took massive stakes in timeless brands like Coca-Cola, Kraft Heinz, and Procter & Gamble. In finance, they became key shareholders in American Express, Moody's, and Bank of America. They built a renewable energy powerhouse with Berkshire Hathaway Energy and acquired BNSF, the largest railway in North America, calling it an all-in wager on the economic future of the United States. Through a relentless series of acquisitions and stock purchases, Berkshire grew into one of the largest and most diversified corporations in the world. Then came 2008. As the global financial system teetered on the brink of collapse and fear paralyzed the markets, Berkshire became a beacon of stability. While others panicked, Buffett did what few dared. He became America's lender of last resort, injecting billions of dollars to save iconic institutions like Goldman Sachs and Bank of America. He was buying when everyone else was selling, deploying his massive cash hoard to acquire valuable assets at bargain prices. The result? Berkshire not only earned tens of billions of dollars in profits from these crisis-era deals, but it also solidified Buffett's reputation as the ultimate contrarian, the man who is greedy when others are fearful. For decades, Buffett famously avoided technology stocks, claiming he didn't understand them. But in 2016, he broke his own rule in the biggest way imaginable. He saw something different in Apple. He saw a sustainable business model with a powerful, irreplaceable ecosystem. He saw a company with huge recurring cash flows and over 1 billion loyal, devoted users. He realized it wasn't just a technology company. It was a consumer products company with a franchise as strong as any he had ever seen. Berkshire began buying Apple stock and it didn't stop. The investment grew to become the single largest holding in Berkshire's history, generating hundreds of billions of dollars in profit, and proving that even at an advanced age, the world's greatest investor was still learning and adapting. So, what is Berkshire Hathaway today? It is a holding company with a market value of hundreds of billions of dollars. It's a fortress of finance that owns hundreds of businesses, from See's Candies to BNSF Railway, Dairy Queen to Geico. It is one of the most cash-rich companies on the planet. But it's also a corporation with a uniquely decentralized culture, one with almost no bureaucracy, no meetings, and maximum autonomy for its managers. More than all of that, it is a symbol of disciplined, patient, long-term investing. It is a testament to the idea that a business should be built on a foundation of ethics and trust. Warren Buffett and Charlie Munger didn't just build a company, they built a legacy. They started with a failing business and turned it into an empire. It became the greatest investment duo of all time, inspiring countless generations with a simple yet profound message. Simplicity and discipline lead to extraordinary results. The journey of Berkshire Hathaway is a testament to the enduring power of a long-term vision, of contrarian thinking, and of an unwavering belief in true underlying value. It is a story of turning mistakes into wisdom and transforming failure into an indestructible financial fortress. As Buffett once said, "You don't have to do many things right in your life, so long as you don't do too many things wrong." Berkshire Hathaway is the perfect living example of that philosophy.